Civilization's dying, and now one's realizing the precision of hate stuck inside the gun.
Hello everybody, this is Spike just doing some Factorio today. I am about to launch a rocket and win the game. So you can see here, this is my rocket silo. We are at 98%. Looks like we need 13 more rocket control units to be at 100%, so we can put this puppy into space and win the game. But before I do that, we get to watch that. I wanted to give you a quick tour of the base. So just a quick look around, show you what I started with and what I ended up with. It's a bit of a mess and spaghetti, and it took 75 hours to get through, but it was very rewarding. Tough game, but a lot of fun, and requires a lot of learning. So let's take a look. This is a overview of the base. You can see right there, that's my pollution being generated, which will attract the biters. This would be my turret coverage, so I do have pretty consistent, looks like I'm missing a spot right here, but pretty consistent turret coverage all around the perimeter of the base, which is great. Once you get that, you know, you have your turrets spaced pretty close together, and those biters can't tear through the walls. You're in pretty good shape. So there's what a biter base looks like, and big biters. So I don't think I ever saw the mega biters, but we got the big spitters and the big biters that will come and attack your base. You see their bodies here, so if they do come in range of these turrets, they'll get blasted. So how did I start? I started right up here in this section, so you can see the density of my base is pretty much centered around here. There's a beginning to be like kind of a central bus here, but I wasn't very good about it. I still cheated a lot, but up here was where I started. I had mining. You can see all the miners are now removed, but I had my copper, iron, and coal being mined in these sections up here, and then being smelted. I've kept the smelters, but I've kind of got rid of the miners because there's nothing left. There's a tiny bit of iron I missed right there, but other than that, not much there. So what happened when that started to get mined out? I came this direction to the east and had a couple of iron fields here and a couple up here. I think one of these is a copper, one was an iron, and these are all mined out now. So right in the middle of the game, probably about 45 hours in, 50 hours in, I was starting to get pretty close, and all of a sudden ran out of copper, or nearly ran out of copper, and I had to expand all the way to the south here. A huge expansion down here to get to this copper field, which is a pretty rich one. This one started with about 1.4 million. I've done almost half of it now. You see a giant ore field here, 9.6 million, but this was the only real good copper within range. So I ended up building a train network. So I have actually 3 trains running on this network. This one, two of the 3 trains have 2 copper cars and then an iron car, and they stop here, and then we can watch them move around. And he's going to come all the way up to here, where the other 4-car train is now unloading. So I've got the ore going off one side, the copper going off the other side, and basically this is my sole copper supply for the base is coming out of these trains right now. And then I have another shorter train who is down here. He's waiting. But this guy only has 2 copper cars, and what he does is he stops here at this very small copper field here. So this copper field here is only about 75,000 left, but you can see the 4-car trains go right past. It's only that 2-car train that stops here, and then the 2-car train will continue up, and he will also, he's waiting right here for this guy to get unloaded, but then he'll pull in, and because of the way I designed it, he'll unload the copper. He'll stop here and unload the copper. I also have these 2 other short train networks over here. This is an interesting one, which brings, well, first there's this one. This one brings iron ore right? Just from this station where it, it pulls it off the other side of the belt, puts it on the train on this track, and brings it around here, and then that feeds up to the concrete factory. So I needed a lot of concrete in order to build the rocket silo. So I had to build these 3 concrete factories, and I didn't have any other way to get iron ore all the way to this part of the base. So I could have probably belted it all the way, but I decided to play around with trains. The trains are really fun in this game. And then I have this one too, and this train and this one are both double-headed trains. So you can see they have locomotives on each end that just pull it back and forth. And took a little bit of figuring out, but it works pretty well. So that one brings iron here. This one brings bricks down. This train brings bricks down from this station. So bricks come in on a conveyor, load onto the center car, and just get moved to right here. And those bricks are used to feed. This looks like electric furnace construction. That's used to for one of the sciences. Yeah, it's used for the purple science. My science production's all here in the middle. Not very good. Took a lot longer than it should have. I only had 4 blue science and 4 yellow science, and I only had actually 1 military science, just 1 factory doing all my military science. So that stuff probably took a lot longer if I had done that properly. But you start in the middle of the game, you're always doing chores. You're always trying to maintain it. But now the factory's pretty good with the robots running around. My logistics network is pretty good. I have a giant logistics network that you can see here has 527 logistics robot, 30 construction robots. So the construction robots will actually repair stuff that gets damaged by the biters, and the other 527 will just move stuff around the network. And you can see I got lots of stuff in the network right now, probably too much. So that's pretty much it. Oh, let me show you my oil production. So I started with a small oil production up here. This is my pump jacks. Just to get me started, get me some batteries and stuff, and then I built a much bigger oil production here, which includes, fracking down into the lubricant here. So your heavy oil coming in, petroleum, light oil, heavy oil, and lubricant, all being produced in here. I had to put in a bunch of additional petroleum tanks that are almost still full again, just because I wasn't using petroleum fast enough. And if you don't use everything that the factories put out, you can see I've only got 1 factory running right now. There goes the second just coming on. So that's a good lesson learned. I got some production going on here for artillery shells. I haven't played around with those, but I heard they're fun, so I started to make them. I may, after launching the rocket, come back and attack some biter bases with artillery. That is pretty much it. So why don't we get started, and we'll get this rocket launched. So all I should need to do, you can see here I'm at 98%, and all I should need to do is put in an inserter to put the rocket control units into the rocket, and we should be good to go. Looks like we got a biter attack going on somewhere. Oh, they're already dead. I forgot, one thing I forgot that you have to do is you need to make sure, glad I didn't forget, I didn't hit the launch button yet, but you need to make sure and put the satellite. You have to build the satellite right here, and have it in your inventory in order to be able to win the game. So you have to put the satellite in the inventory, and then we're good to go. So let's get this puppy lit. there we go. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.